Hello everyone. In today's episode we will talk about how Islam is not just knocking on Sweden's door, but apparently has taken over the entire hallway. Don't forget meatballs. Now it's kebab that matters. Every street corner, right? Let's dive into this situation that Sweden is facing.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Sweden is known for IKEA, meatballs, and similar summer nights. But wait now. It seems something new has blown over the Swedish forests. According to some alarmists, it is no longer the wind of change, but the call to prayer, sarcastic tone. So what is really happening? Has Friday cozy time come to an end in favor of Friday prayers? Is it true that Swedish passports now come with a built-in compass pointing towards Mecca? Let's go through the facts. Did you know that today there are more mosques in Sweden than there are IKEA stores? No, that's actually not true. But what if it were? What would that mean? Maybe our furniture assembly instructions would become clearer. Integration is a hot topic, but according to some sources, it's no longer about being moderate, but rather halal. The streets of Malmö are said to be as lively at 3 in the morning as in the middle of the day, thanks to the newly established call to prayer. Now we have established that Sweden might, possibly, under certain circumstances, in some way be slightly affected by Islam. Let's talk about our Swedish traditions, and how they have changed over time. Midsummer pole. No, it is the midsummer mosque now. The traditional dance around the pole has been updated to a choreographed prayer. And don't forget that wreaths are now halal certified. Sarcasm regarding food. When it comes to food, the meatballs are still there, but it is served with tzatziki instead of lingonberry jam. But seriously, how about falafel now? Is becoming as Swedish as meatballs. It is a sign of times of flavorful integration, or perhaps just proof that Swedes love all kinds of balls regardless of origin. Has the Swedish language changed? According to some experts' statements, we will soon need to replace yes and no with inshallah. And in the news, you may have noticed that the World Onion Report now includes updates on wind direction to facilitate the direction for prayer. Maybe a bit exaggerated, but think about it. Wouldn't it be something if SVT started every news broadcast with Salam Alaikum? Here are tonight's news. Do you want us to continue? Yes. After looking at traditions and the Swedish language, let's now dig into something that everyone is talking about, the Swedish welfare system. Explore the ways in which the situation is being shaped by the process of Islamization, and the potential impacts on society. Now that we have Sharia-compliant parking at everyone's major shopping centers, how has it affected the Swedish welfare system? Well, maybe not as much as the Sharia parking yet. But think about it. Would that mean we have to take off our shoes before driving? No, but seriously, we must not forget that Sweden is known for its extensive welfare. But there are rumors that the benefits managers will now start asking if you can name the 5 pillars of Islam before you even receive your child allowance. And healthcare, how is it doing there? Have doctor visits turned into spiritual meetings? The doctor will see you now. Start by washing your hands, feet, arms, and face, so you are clean both physically and spiritually before the examination. How have Swedish schools been affected then? It is said that the curriculum now requires every student to know their Quran verse before they can graduate from elementary school and universities. Have courses such as advanced Arabic and Quranic studies been introduced that are mandatory for all students? Perhaps not quite yet, but what a twist it would be. So is Islam really on the verge of taking over Sweden? Or has it just become a bit better at sharing our famous meatball dish with everyone, regardless of background and faith? For in the end, if anything can truly unite us all, it is our shared love for a good meal. Let's take a look at something that really raises people's eyebrows. Indeed, Swedish politics. How exactly has it really been affected by this so-called Islamic infiltration, perhaps? It seems that every political party now has a halal strategy, except for the Sweden Democrats.
Sprazniku was! Snyam или победы! Hurrah!
What does that mean? Well, it means that all political speeches must include at least one reference to the Quran to ensure that everyone feels included. Imagine the next election debate where all the leaders argue about whose interpretation of the Quran is the most Swedish. And the Riksdag, our glorious institution, is now set to start every meeting with a collective meditation where the members reflect on life's big questions. But that's just the approval of newly established. The mystery of religious harmony, security, and public spaces. How does this affect safety in Sweden? Now we must include both a metal detector and a halal detector in the security check to ensure that everything passing through is culturally appropriate. Even our Swedish icons have had a makeover. ABBA's next reunion tour now includes a version of Dancing Queen that is completely adapted to be Sharia compliant. Yes, you heard that right. Therefore the meadow now goes. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, dig in the most, the modest dancing queen. So as Sweden becomes increasingly multicultural, we may just have to get used to the idea that the Swedish coffee break now includes both coffee and chamomile tea. And why not? If we can share a coffee break, we can share everything. We have now come to perhaps the most exciting topic of all regarding new Islamist Swedish realities, culture and leisure. How has our Swedish entertainment life changed? When it comes to the Swedish film industry, the next big success at the box office will not be a sequel to Evil. Instead, it will be Halalen, a story about a young man who navigates his identity between being both Swedish and Muslim. Naturally, with both humor and drama. And our beloved music festivals, we have also seen a change. It is no longer just rock and pop that dominate the scene. No, now we have a new festival called Rock Sokarna Off, where all music is played in a way to ensure that no one gets overly excited. So how is it with sports? Is Swedish hockey now replaced by camels and camel racing? Perhaps not quite that, but some suggest that we start including halal breaks in our hockey matches, so that everyone gets a chance to reflect on the course of the game and the meaning of life. And Swedish fashion, how has it been affected? Let me tell you, the latest at Stockholm Fashion Week is no longer the minimalist Scandinavian design, but modest fashion that has stolen the spotlight. Who knew that scarves and loose silhouettes would become the new black in Sweden? As you can see, even the claim that Islam is taking over Sweden is grossly exaggerated. So here our little country has definitely become a melting pot of cultures. Isn't it just a sign that we are really good at this lagom thing? So how does it feel? Is there anything specific you want to add? When we stand on Earth and look up at the stars, it can sometimes feel like the universe is infinitely large, and our small concerns here on Earth are just small. In the cosmic perspective, the Swedish culture is a small change, perhaps no more than a blink in the solar system. But this very blink, no matter how subtle or transformative it is, reflects a larger picture of humanity and our constant striving to understand ourselves. And perhaps to better understand each other. Perhaps that is, in the grand scheme of things, what this Islamic infiltration is actually about. An enrichment of the Swedish societal tapestry, a new thread woven into our shared human fabric. So the next time you hear something about how a culture or religion takes over a country, take a step back and think about the infinite universe. From that angle, we might see that we are all just small stardust particles in a larger context, trying to find our place on this little planet that we call Earth. Thank you for joining us on this galactic journey through humor, sarcasm, and a touch of Swedish traditions. Remember, no matter how many falafel balls are thrown our way, it's how we choose to catch them that counts. And with that, let us continue to explore, learn, and laugh together. Thank you and goodbye. Leave a like and subscribe for more cosmic insights. And until then, we will see each other again. Keep your gaze towards the stars, and I hope you have a good day today. See you.